Happy Thursday morning. Keith Tebow with you from FRCMedia. Time for our weekly check-in with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you today?
Doing okay, Keith. How about you?
I am doing well. I actually want to start with some school issues. Today's actually the last day of school for the city of Fall River, and I know there's been a lot of talk about what transpired over the past, not only the past school year, but the last past school year and a half in terms of students and how they've dealt with things. What's been your perception on, how things have been handled? And I want to follow up with what we can maybe expect as fall in terms of gauging, how well students have survived this.
Uh, well, I think the students have done pretty well. I think the long-term effects are where we're going to have to look to see how they've actually survived this pandemic. So that's not something we can judge in June or July. It's going to take a long time to see how this plays out. And the kids did get to go back to school for at least the last month to get them back into that routine. So those are all positives. I'm concerned, obviously, about instruction, how much of a gap there is. I think I saw a statistic that said one third of all K to 12 students lost at least a year or two of education that really will impact them long term. But these are all things that we don't have the answers to right now. Um, we'll get back in there in the fall and see how it shakes out.
Even though the state wasn't going to hold districts' feet to the fire in terms of MCAS, the MCAS tests were given. Is there any opportunity maybe to glean some information from, how students perform there as those results come in later in the fall?
Well, I don't like I said when I did the MCAS, there was always a big push for attendance. They wanted 100% of the participants to take it. I mean, we literally canceled the whole test the year before, which is 100% of no one taking it. This year, we tested them when they came in, which I don't, for the life of me, see how that works because they've missed so much education. And I know they want to do it to try to give us a starting point of where to go forward, but I can give them the starting point. These kids have lost a lot. They need to be coached up and they need to get the proper instruction to do anything on that test. What we're doing right now is going to create more divisions in education, whether it's the parents, the students, the teachers. It's going to make it uncomfortable to use this kind of what I call faulty data and see where we're going to go. I never I never was against the MCAS test. I don't have a problem with that, but I want it to be a level playing field. And let's face it, some people do better on a computer than others, and judging them all the same way, it just seems unfair to me.
Yeah. You mentioned attendance. There have been reports that the city's attendance rate over the past year has been lower in terms of comparing to the rest of the state. The school committee meeting this week, a presentation was made about attendance, and you had a concern about students who didn't go to school when they could in person, how that will translate to potentially the fall. Can you just expound upon that?
Yeah, it's that whole online learning thing. I think education works best when it's in a group, in a classroom with a teacher, and obviously helping each other. The students feed off each other when they're in that kind of a setting. You put kids home on a computer, and it's very, very tough to gauge what they're doing. I mean, we're taking attendance on kids. I look back at myself. I mean, if I was going to be marked present because I turned on a computer and I went and watched a TV show in the other room, I might do some crazy things like that myself. But at the same time, it doesn't help instruction and it doesn't help the kid. What are we doing here? And Fall River's attendance, we were one of the few districts which had kids back in school. So we're judging our attendance rate against a hybrid model of kids in school, kids opting out completely, kids on home instruction, versus districts that had no one in school. They were all just coming off the computer. So it's really wild times in education, and we're just going to have to figure a way out of this and hopefully start doing what's best for the kids.
Yeah. Finally, in terms of the school department, the future of Superintendent Matthew Malone. I know that you cannot be part of any of the negotiations in terms of maybe him leaving a little earlier. We touched upon this a little bit last week. The school committee did meet in executive session. You were not part of that discussion, but have you heard if there's been any headway at all in terms of the superintendent potentially leaving before his intended date in November?
No, I really am. I'm trying to keep an arm's length relationship with that, Keith. So, I'm sure the superintendent's going to do what's best for him and his family, and I'm sure the district will counter with whatever we can do best for the city's citizens in Fall River and the kids. I mean, that's what this is about. We'll move forward whenever that time is, and I'm sure we'll work our way through it.
All right, this week officially, the state of emergency in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic ended. Governor Baker ended that by signature a few weeks ago, but it came into effect this week. I believe just yesterday or on Tuesday, the legislature passed a number of initiatives that will extend some of the provisions that that help businesses in terms of getting through the pandemic. And we've talked about this in the past. A lot have to do with restaurants in terms of special permits. Is there anything the city needs to do above and beyond those state approvals to continue this locally?
Well, obviously, locally here, we'll do whatever we can to help the restaurants have outdoor dining. I think that was a big success. I think there's some things we can do, and we're going to do them. I mean, we've already had meetings in this office going forward for this year, and again, we're still finding our way along here, but we're not going to do anything to restrict outdoor restaurants that need support. Uh, Outdoors or indoors, let's face it, the restaurant industry got murdered, and we got to help them back up. And I don't have a problem with anything related to outdoor dining. Um, you know, that'll be something we work our way through with them, and we're going to do everything we can to support them in that line.
Also, some good news yesterday. I had asked you about this a while back, but now it's official. The fireworks will be returning here in the city of Fall River on the 4th of July. Were there any concerns at all about having, again, even though a lot of people have been vaccinated, our numbers in Fall River are not as high as they should be, but again, having a large group of people congregate on the waterfront. But talk a little bit about the decision to return the fireworks, what people can expect, and if there are any concerns in terms of a potential spread in a large area like that.
Right. There's always concerns, and we want people to get vaccinated. So if everybody gets vaccinated, we'll have no concerns. Even though I was reading an article today about people getting COVID after they've been vaccinated, their illness level is extremely low in almost all cases, and that's what we want. We don't want people sick. We don't want people in the hospital. We don't want people regretfully dying from this disease. We got to do everything we can to keep people safe. But at the same time, as we loosen up these restrictions and these emergency orders are lifted, we want people to be able to enjoy life a little bit. I think if we're smart and the people that aren't vaccinated wear a mask and the people that are can enjoy the day and we try to maintain some form of social distancing, we'll be all right. We just got to get through it. I mean, I see other events going on, whether they're sporting events or I saw a little bit of a parade the other day. So there's things we can do, and we're going to try to do it to make Fall River more livable. Absolutely.
And I'm sure the response has been good toward the resumption of fireworks on July 4th. And, there's going to be plenty of activity. I guess go over a little bit about what people can expect.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're still planning it, but I think we're going to have one of our local bands, actually a couple of them forming up to form a concert band, which we want to play some music down at the Bicentennial Park at or in front of the wall. When it's not sure of the right location yet, we'll find a spot where everybody can enjoy the music. We may have another group in the Heritage Park playing out of a stage there. We're looking to bring some food trucks in so people have somewhere they can get an ice cream cone or a Dell's lemonade or a hot dog. So we're working on a number of things to at least make it like an event for people so that they can go down there and hang out for a couple hours and get hear some music, get some to eat, and then they tell me around 9 o'clock we fire off the fireworks, and it'll still be an early evening, and we want everybody safe.
Yeah. And of course, this weekend, big event at Durfee High School, the next family movie, and also the kickoff to summer that your office, Senator Roderick's also working with CD Recreation to present. That's coming up tomorrow. Do you know if there are still tickets available for the movie? Do you know?
I think that's Saturday, Keith. There are some tickets still available online. I mean, I know we got a good crowd going. There's a number of activities for kids and things, so we do, again, create that a feel of an event as opposed to just pulling into a drive-in. So we want people to come, uh, and again, grab an ice cream, watch a movie, pet the alpacas. Come on down. We'd love to have a crowd there. It's a free event. It's something for the community. Like you said, working with Senator Rodrick and other elected officials, we put on these events for people, and that's what we're trying to do, and have some activities in the city.
You're right. It is Saturday. I'm jumping ahead. I'm acting as if it's already Friday when it's only Thursday. It is right. It is Saturday. The kickoff event is at 5 o'clock, and then the movie a little bit later on. All right, Mayor Paul Coogan, as always, thank you for your time. Take care. We'll talk next week.
Okay, Keith. Thank you.
All right. And thank you for joining us here on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great rest of your day.